G'day subscribers, today we're going to look at Project Julius and how it's coming along. You're with Jules Knight on the 200th episode of Jive Talking Garage. So the first thing we're going to do is go around the FJ panel wagon, and we're going to talk about the NASCO accessories on the outside and all the bits and pieces. So let's just start at the front because no better place to start. So with a lot of FJs you had the bonnet mascot, so it's a standard accessory, and back in the day you could get a bug deflector called a Comet. So I've got them in a couple of colours, red and green. So they complement the car quite well. It's a standard FJ at the front with just a lot of accessories added. Like for instance, on the headlights, we've got these grid protectors over the lamps. I've got a whole series of badges here now. Because it's a 1956 stamped car, out the door 1957 in March, we've got besides the RACQ honour badge, we've got the 1956 Ampol Round Australia Rally and the 1956 Melbourne Olympics badge. So we've got that. We've also got the spotlights, and what 1950s car wouldn't be complete without the water bag. So that's fine. We also have fender markers on the FJ. So these give you a good distance as far as the breadth of the car when you're parking or you're driving into a spot. Now these little accessories here, these are called a comeback mirror. Now you can have them on driver's side or passenger side. At the moment I've got them on the passenger side, but on the driver's side. But when I put my new guards on, I will put them on both sides, just because you can. Standard FJ with the vent up, and as you can see, this is very much a rat rod type of paint. So we have venties on the quarter glasses. Now back in the day, this telescopic type Wybrock NASCO mirror, they're made by Wybrock for NASCO, so this would be for a boat or a trailer or a caravan because they can move out. And that's why I like them. And also, of the day, you could get the scratch plates. So I'm pretty happy with those. And then to match that style, there's also the same types of badges on the bonnet. So I've got two more to find. Now just going back toward the front, as we move lower, we've got the darts on the FJ, so they're an ornament that you could get back in the day, as well as the wheel trims matching with nice hubcaps. Also mud flaps for the front and mud flaps for the rear. Obviously it's got the stone guards and so on, so that's just part of the rear guard. I was very lucky with this car. You know, I had a lot of good friends help me. Certainly Dan the welder, Russell Tronk, the list goes on. The boys were excellent in helping as well. So as we get more toward the back of the car, obviously it's got, standard tailgate, reflectors, new old stock tail light lens, and also the exhaust deflector, but it's also got the civilian style bumper. Sorry, I'll retract that. It's not civilian, it's the military. So military was just the naked bumperette, and the civilian had the overrider on them. So I've added the additional middle reflector, and also the accessory that you could get as the reversing light. So I was very lucky that Basil helped me with the bumperettes as well as the brackets that go with them. Now, one of the things that I like about this car is, besides little Sophie in there saying hello to everybody, is the fact that it's got a red tip aerial and the standard sun visor isn't on this car. It's actually the deluxe sun visor. So this is as they were preparing for 1957. This is the sun visor that they were bringing out in 56. FE has a single, and that's the reinforced bar at the end there, and the late FJs do as well. So that gives you a bit of an idea as far as the outside of the car is concerned. But it is, what you see is what you get. I'm not trying to, make this into anything it's not. There are 4 panel wagons, and as you can see in the back there, there's a little dicky seat, but we'll have a look on the inside in a minute. But needless to say, you look at the old car and you wouldn't think, well, gee whiz, it's all nice and new underneath, and it's not too shabby in the engine bay as well. G'day, Sophie. Now, with this car being one of the Twilight FJs that was built on the same assembly line as the FE, there were some common parts, and one of them for the late cars was the FE air cleaner. And people who went to the Nationals would have seen this car and its sister car parked right next to it, which was one number after it, and they've both got the same style of air cleaner. However, at the moment, there's not a lot of accessories underneath the hood. There's certainly the RVB NASCO dual horns. Now, don't forget, NASCO didn't make anything. People like RVB and Wybrock and things like that took the specification for Holden and made them accordingly. So we've got horns. And therefore we have the relay, the RVB relay as well. And in this case, we have the light that's authorised by Holden as of January 1954 in their monthly newsletter to tell dealers to actually sell these to help motorists who need assistance in the dark at night time with their vehicle, but also, like a lot of things, it gave extra sales to the dealership to fit them, and also additional sales to General Motors. But as you can see on this car, this is that's all original paint under there. I had Nathan and Lachlan, my sons, come out just before the Nationals at Christmas time with their girls, and they gave me a hand for a day and gave this car a bit of a birthday. But it's turned out pretty well. So it's just a standard little engine that we were put onto in Maryborough from Scotty to Hottie, and it had a brand new gearbox with it as well. So very happy with all of that. You can see we've got a 600 CCA battery. It's mounted, for instance, like a special vehicle such as a army ute, a ambulance, all the other military vehicles, a business sedan. So it's taking the larger battery and also the coil on a angle. And in this case, it's a stock standard motor. There's nothing flash about it. The nice thing is everything works. And I'm very happy with the performance of it. Look, with around 60 horsepower, they're not a big machine. However, they get along just fine. And in this case, I also have the alloy tappet cover. Now, with the alloy tappet cover, they would complimentary sell not just the black air breather cap, but also a zinc plated one. So you will see the same part number, but it has ZP after it. So folks who are interested, put the details down at Jive Talking Garage so that, you know, they are able to see, okay, that you could have more than one thing. But really, that's the engine bay. You know, there's a few things that I've got to do with its seals. I'll probably rip the engine out again and redo firewall and things like that. But generally speaking, you know, we're in a pretty good place. You know, even the little springs and levers work. So very happy with that. But anyway, let's go and have a look in the back of the car. So if we head to the back, under the eagle eyes of Sophie, we'll see, you know, the tailgate's pretty good. We've got a little bit of rust here, but that'll all get cut out as we get fair dinkum about it. But I've laid out some things that I just normally have. We've got the floor mats that would be put on the car when you put it in for service at the dealership. We've got our owner's manual. We've got the manual for the radio, the standard Holden times, the tickets that would be tied with lace, shoelace from the mirror in the dealership when people were buying a used car, because it's okay used cars and okay used trucks. We've got the little good housekeeping book that would go with the owner's manuals. In latter years, that was coloured. Also, the NASCO lug wrench, together with the 10-year catalogue that I got from our mate Tristan, and also one of the genuine NASCO catalogues from back in the day, whereby we're able to sort of, you know, tick off the list of what the things that you could get for your FJ Holden. But generally speaking, it's in pretty good condition. Now you can see with the panel wagons, because the fuel tank is in the spare wheel well, you know, they've moved them to be vertically mounted in the cargo area. So, you know, I've done it a lot, well, I'd like to think a lot smarter by using the Holden ute and panel van hardware, such that it's, you know, you're using the standard parts and it actually looks correct. Because with the one and only station wagon, their fuel tank inlet is here. So everything's going into the back. So there was a lot of changes. So with the station wagon and the panel wagons, they had to mount the tyre here. So, you know, in keeping with the other wheels, you can see I've got the wheel trim around that as well. But in the back, you can see the dicky seat that they've put in place. And we've also, because it's actually a passenger vehicle, we've got the pull-to handles on each side for the passengers in the back, for them to have something to hang on to. But this would all be Mundy Brown boards. And when I got this, the runners had been taken off and thrown away, and it was just the timber that was turned upside down. So it was the original, these are the original boards. However, I'm going to put brand new in here, and then everything will be painted Mundy Brown, and it should look pretty good when it's all finished, because you know, I would like the FJ to be quite presentable, because at the moment I realise it's a little rough and ready, and I accept that, and I've got no issue with it, but I'm not trying to pretend that the car isn't something that it's not. But we are getting there, and I'm trying to evolve and improve it all of the time. But anyway, let's go and have a look on the inside. So we're here with little Sophie. So she's come along today for some filming, so that's perfectly fine. So if we get into the FJ, on the floor we have the rubber mat, which is, you know, standard, and we'll start at the top. We've got the usual sun visors with the same trim as the hood lining. On the passenger side, we actually have a tint, for the passenger, and also the vanity mirror as well, because you could have a vanity mirror for it if you paid the extra money. So let's just get that right. They have the anti-glare mask, so that just sits on top of the mirror, or you could get a day-night mirror. I've got both, and for the moment I'm just running the anti-glare mask. We've got our dash rack, and also for our Mark Dennis friend in Perth, we have our temperature gauge, and it's just suction. So we've got our dash rack there, and we've got there we go. So we've got the fan that we can use, the 6-volt Wybrock fan, and also the radio. So that I'm very, very happy with that mounted on the dash. That looks fantastic. And also we've paid the extra money, and we've got the special style glove box lid, which you could have if you either ordered it or paid extra to buy it, together with what they call the valance as well. We have, I'll just turn the fan off. We have the demisters either side, and also the rings that trim rings that go around the speedo head. So this car didn't come with those originally, and that's the very first thing that went on as soon as I got it on the Saturday. Showed up at the workshop on Sunday, and there it was. Here you go, Jules, you got to put these on your car. So the other thing we've got is the scratch plate for the keys, so very happy with that, as well as probably the two best accessories that you can get. Firstly, we've got the NASCO lighter, which I've done a segment about, whereby that's really the first accessory that they put out, and also the parcel shelf. Now, parcel shelves are just great, because what they allow you to do is get in the car and you can put your toolkit in there, which it is. And if my wife jumps in the car, well, the first thing that goes there is her purse or a little handbag or whatever, and that works out quite well for her, because that way there's not a handbag on the seat or on the floor, because things like Oriton, you can never put Oriton on the floor. The other thing that we have happening here is quarter vent locks. So these are quite effective. I remember when I first bought my FJ back in 1981, I was forever locking the keys in there, believe it or not, and I was having to go and get a coat hanger and whatever is the case. But these are quite good, because they assist in making it more difficult for the car to be stolen. And you can also see we've got the pull-to door handles here, which I'm happy about. And just going outside to give you a better view, Sophie thinks we're on the move. We've got the horn ring with the twin horns, and also the Cool Ride cushion. And we've got a little towel there for Sophie to sit on, to make her day just that little bit more comfortable, so she's not sitting on PVC. But in this case, there's the dicky seat, because it is a panel wagon, and there's about 4 that I know. 2 in Sydney, one was in Perth, which used to be a Brisbane car, and this one itself, it's in Brisbane now. This was a Melbourne car. So you can see it's got the full hood lining in there, 1 single stay, spare wheel, mounting kit. So it'll have the correct water wave hood lining put in it. It'll go from here, from the start to the back. It'll be the correct water wave, but also we'll have the right seat material too. And so we're just going through the process of getting all of the right style, because they're looking at remanufacturing the Lagoon Green this year, and that'll be manufactured out of Germany or Japan. So there is quite a lot of good quality reproduction material that's available for both seat trim and also hood lining. So we've been very selective about getting all of those. But Project Julius is coming along quite well. We've added the radial tyres to it, and also Dan the welder has done a great job in putting standard seat belts in place and all of the right anchor points and stuff like that. So there was however, it's more heavy duty now than what it actually was back in the day. But Happy New Year, folks. To those of you who came to the Nationals, I hope that you enjoyed them at the end of 2024. I know it was a very, very busy time, and I got to see a lot of people, and folks are very kind. And it was good to go to a Nationals. I haven't been to a Nationals since 1994, so there was a 30-year break, but it was quite exhausting. But there you go. That's the look at Project Julius for the 200th episode of Jive Talking Garage. Please like, share and subscribe, but more importantly, enjoy your Holden.